Welcome to Caution Flag Contemplations podcast, a racing show by the fans for the fans. Welcome in to this week's edition of the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. We're here three wide here on a Monday, second week of May, just absolutely ripped, roaring, ready to go. We got D-Watt up in the here, JP. D-Watt, ever since he made his podcast debut a couple weeks ago, he's really getting them out there on the TikTok, absolutely rocking and rolling on them. And he's stunting on the haters, so proud of him on that. But y'all be sure to go find him. It's D-Watt, 4912. I get to 49, but we could take that 12 and you can shove it up your... Yeah, I don't need none of that nonsense in my life. But anyways, glad to have you back. That's a nice shirt you got on.
Oh, thank you.
Is that a Gold Mountain Speedway?
Yep.
How much did that run you?
25, and then I got a sticker, or a koozie, and a sticker for the toolbox.
See, if I'd have gone, I would have got a sticker for that top up there.
Gotta fill it out.
Hey, I'm going to get an Indianapolis Motor Speedway one next week, though, and y'all going to be jealous of that. I'll try to bring you one. I know you want one. I'll see if I can bring you one. But yeah, so I'm pretty pumped about that. But yeah, that's a nice looking shirt. 25 ain't too bad. We're gonna get to the Gold Mountain review. I want to hear all the deets. Partially, what I want to hear is like the concession stands and lines getting in and all that. So not just the racing, but we'll see how that goes. But other than that, y'all have a pretty good weekend.
Oh yeah. Had to work. Didn't really work. It was great.
Had a nice get together on Sunday. Had some barbecue and some sides, and I hosted over here at the house. So,
all right. Did you make the barbecue or did you
no? We just Dixie barbecue down the road. We bought it on Saturday and had it Sunday. So it was
at least that stuff's good. I hadn't had that in years. I had a big old reunion for my wonderful wife. Playing. She did so good.
I saw you over there.
Yeah,
I saw your truck.
I guess I didn't tell JP that, but yeah, I was walking out to go change 15 minutes before this thing started because I was not about to wear my hanging clothes all day, and I'm like, hey, I think that's old boy's Fusion going down the hill, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? Take me with you. And then your wife was like, yeah, I mean, just get in the car, it's fine. I was like, thank you. God, what a nice woman. You really did out kick your coverage on that one. So, just joking. But yeah, we had a good time with that. My wife did a stand-up roast routine, which I'll be honest, I didn't give her enough credit. I thought it was going to be pretty bad, and that's why I was ready to watch it. Just to be honest with y'all, but she actually did pretty good. I videoed it. I haven't told her I videoed it yet. She's probably going to want that at some point. But we'll get to that. Other than that, I got some the stuff on this hat right here. Back in stock. I'm drinking it on ice. This is going to be a very serious, quick topic before we get into it. Is it legal to drink beer on ice?
No, it's illegal.
Okay, your opinion's last. D, what you got?
I've never had it that way, but I'd say it's okay.
I mean, so this is like apple juice on ice. First of all, clearly, if you're going for the intoxicating effects, which I don't, because I'm not an alcoholic, so I don't do that. But I just like the taste. But it's pretty good. I really love to chew on ice. See,
I don't like that.
I'm a big ice guy, and it's pretty good. All right, JP, what you got?
I like to chew on ice too, but I don't. Something about beer and ice just doesn't sound right.
So pretty much,
and maybe I'll try it and be wrong, but that just does not.
So
compute
pretty
in my
much,
brain.
just to sum up what I'm hearing JP say is, if you drink beer on ice, you're a pussy. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to be sure we get that whole thing out there. That's what I thought I heard. Sorry for the language, folks, but this is America. We used the R word last week, so we'll go for this word this week. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty good. I was glad to get my apple back in. I found it in my trees at my house. If you follow my TikTok, I got 3 whole views on that one. I thought that was going to do better. I'm just not very funny. I'm not really good at video, is honestly the truth of it. It is what it is. But glad to have it back. I have a whole cooler over there from my sister, because she bought me some because they didn't have it in Knoxville, so she bought some in Chattanooga and kept it cold for an entire week for me. And so I've been enjoying that. Watched the race yesterday. Had a couple. And I'm going to have a couple for this podcast. And that way, I'll just drink and y'all talk. It'll be a great time. So thank y'all for being here. Over the weekend, some things that we synced that happened that we're not going to cover in depth, but that were pretty good and bad. We're going to start with bad, and then we're going to go lighthearted after that. Wartburg. Did you see that the street stock hit the flag stand at Wartburg?
Yeah, I saw that.
I did not.
That's scary. I believe everybody was okay. That is scary, scary crap. I was sitting at the couch at JP's house with my dad, and I was like scrolling after that thing we went to Saturday night, trying to catch up on everything. And there was that one. And then the next one was Volunteer Speedway driver gets airlifted to the hospital after some kind of wreck on the front stretch there, which we all know. We've all been there. That place is pretty high speed. Definitely some sketchy stuff could happen. They said it was on the front stretch. Looked like in front of the flag stand. It was street stock driver, I believe, Tim Kilby. Have not seen any updates. Hope he is doing okay. Thoughts and prayers with him. And at that point, I looked at old Pops, and I was like, it's got to be a full moon. Googled it. Full moon was last night. So it was one night away from the full moon. Or maybe the full moon's tonight. But, definitely full moon weekend. It's a dirt track. That was tough. Friday night, we'll talk about that later. We're going to cover that. What the crap? Did you? Is this IMSA?
So Sunday morning, I'm scrolling through YouTube trying to find something. I noticed the IMSA official channel is live streaming it's like one of their lower series. It's like Lamborghini Super Trofeo or something.
Like a club or something?
Yeah, but they were at Laguna Seca, and I came back in to watch it, and they were under caution. The race had like 2 minutes left, and they went back green for the last 2 laps, and the 2 leaders had an insane battle, and the guy won by like 0.06 of a second. It was pretty wild.
I'm glad to know that IMSA gets you excited. You must really like these Next Gen Cup cars.
Yep. Sure do.
Other than that, we had a little bit of high limit last week. Corey Day and Rico Abreu got the win. Rico with back-to-back wins over on the high limit. I think we talked about that a little bit. I'm glad to see him having good runs, keeping that up. Corey Day, the up-and-coming HendrickCars.com, Kyle Larson, eventual replacement. Maybe. Probably not. Probably Alex Bowen replacement. Just kidding. Didn't say that out loud. Sorry, Alex. Just kidding. That's Carson Hocevar, just for the record.
I mean Kyle Busch?
Right now. Hocevar will replace Bowman at Hendrick at some point.
You mean Kyle Busch?
Kyle Busch is not going to Hendrick.
Okay.
Are you on crack cocaine?
No.
I don't know about the ECR engines, though. Somebody named AJ Candy Bar told me that they're not too good. So
I saw that clip. Yeah.
He was a little upset with him.
we'll get to that here in a little bit too. But yeah, it was some good stuff. I guess I'll go ahead and tell this. So my favorite thing over the weekend that I watched the entire weekend. First of all, 2 things. This is Rock Castle Speedway in Kentucky, which I don't even know that we've really ever talked about. I've seen it off and on. What's that Speedway car cams guy? He goes up there some. It's in Kentucky. I don't even know where it's at in Kentucky. I guess Rock Castle, but I don't know where that is. They said it was like an hour away from Winfield, Tennessee, maybe. So somewhere up there. But first of all, the announcer up there, absolutely fantastic announcer. Like, he could replace some of these guys that go on these like regional tours, in particular some of the Crate Series or something like that. I mean, he did a really good job calling the race. Something I pay attention to, because a lot of these tracks you go to, like, if you can't watch it, you don't know what's going on. This guy did a really good job, like, calling the actual race. Like, you could have listened to him, like, radio style and known what was going on in the race. So, props in for that. Second of all, they get this nose stuck in the fence off of Josh Rice's car. It's Friday night, and this is Southern Nationals race. And Josh Rice, they didn't have it on video. They only had one camera, so I don't know how he got there. But he must have turned head on in that wall and absolutely buried the nose between 2 pieces of Armco. And, I mean, dog, it was in there.
Yeah.
It ended up taking them 30-plus minutes to get it out. They tried pulling it with a gator with a winch. I just pulled the gator up the hill. They tried digging it out. They tried beating it out. And they ended up getting a skid steer and hooking up a chain to the metal pieces on the nose and just broke the metal off the plastic and left like one piece. Went to the other side, did the same thing. And eventually the guy just takes the skid steer and he's like, and just tried to scoot it off. But it's plastic, so it's flexible. So it's like it's still pinched in there, just kind of bent the plastic, the metal stayed, and eventually they ended up like taking the skid steer and like sticking it between the two pieces of guardrail and like bending it backwards basically, or bending it up to try to get it out. So they ended up getting it out, but it took like 30 minutes. It was hilarious. My favorite part was they had the second like flow pit camera was on the track. Like if y'all haven't seen this, you're gonna have to go back and watch this. Like just go find the full replay from Rock Castle and just fast forward to probably like 3/4 through. It's in halfway through the super feature or whatever. But anyways, the flow guy's out there on the track, and these old boys are like, F this, F that, you know, because they can't get the thing out of the wall. It's hilarious. So really made my night on Friday. Just I really enjoyed it. I had like, if you look down in these notes that I sent y'all, if you look in here to the Rock Castle part, there's like an entire paragraph. Gator no, side by side no, John Deere skid steer with chains maybe. Took part of it off. 3 tries, still stuck. Can't push it out. Trying to cut back the side. The sound from the camera is hilarious. 30 minutes. Oh, there's other things. This track rutted up pretty good. And also, he's out there with a track skid steer, like, basically
digging even more ruts.
Making it worse. And this hole on the top up there. So that was pretty bad. But, yeah, it was hilarious. Some of the guys after the race up saying their tires, like, you know, glazed over basically because they had to wait so long for them to clean. That was hilarious. But y'all should go back and watch that. It's probably the most entertaining part of that race night. So, congratulations there. Anyways, moving on. Illinois Speed Week. A little for super late models. D-Watt, I'm sure you watched plenty.
Yes, I watched Tuesday to Saturday. All of them on the flow.
I'm proud of you. I wish I could say that. I tried. I went back and watched the replays. We'll definitely get your insights. JP's lazy. I guess he was iRacing or on eat or taking a nap. Probably went to bed early. I don't know. He's a pansy. But anyways, he didn't watch all of them. So glad we got that going on. We started off at LaSalle Speedway,
which it just reopened.
Yeah.
It was closed for, was it 4 or 5 years or something like that?
Yeah, I think they said 21, so like 4 years.
4 years. So.
Yeah, it was pretty good. They had 20K. This was the kickoff for the Flow. Is it Castrol? Castrol?
Castrol.
Castrol Night in America is what it used to be.
Is that what
called.
it is this year?
Yeah,
or is
I
it
think
just
so.
Flow? I don't want to. Whatever.
I don't
It's
know.
Flow Racing Night in America for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
They started that back off with the 3-night swing ahead of Lucas here for this Illinois Speed Week, the brainchild of the great Michael Rigsby. I'm only calling him great. Hopefully one day I can get a job. I'd be better than Swap, just saying. Anyways, so they started off there at LaSalle, 20,000 to win, 3 nights in a row here we're going to talk about. They had a great car count, but because you had the 3 nights in a row plus the 2 Lucas, and you have no World Outlaws, so car count's really good. The track was awesome. What'd you think, D-Watt?
Oh yeah, I like the track. A little something different. The dirt up there is a lot different than what I'm used to seeing out here in the South. So, Pierce, he won, but no shock on that. But all in all, I like the track. Didn't have any walls. I don't believe that place didn't have any walls on the outside. So that was unique. I kind of like it. At first, I wasn't a big fan of tracks that don't have walls, but I feel like I've gotten used to them over the last couple of years of watching on Flow. So I thought overall it was a very nice race overall.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm turning into like that dirt out there. You talk about the dirt. Yeah. I have wet dreams about that dirt. If we could just move that dirt down here to Knoxville, Tennessee. Whew, man. Also the no walls thing. Like first dirt track I ever went to didn't have walls in the corners of Fayetteville Motor Speedway. Or on the back stretch. There was a front stretch wall of track tire. I don't know what they have now. That's what they had then. But and then we started going to Boyd's all the time back in the day, and it got weird to me to see tracks without a wall. But now I'm kind of like, yeah, whatever. It's whatever. But man, there's some pretty racetracks up there. Green grass. A lot of them have grass infields. And like I said, the dirt, man, it's like black gold, kind of like that cow shit stuff that just like holds moisture. I don't know if they mix that in or it's just. I guess it's just a prairie dirt, but you're right. It makes for some really good racing. Start off there. Davenport sets fast time. I'm sorry. Davenport. I'm getting ahead of myself. RTJ sets fast time there. Let's see. What else happened? I have some notes somewhere around here. Ends up hitting the wall in his heat, and Gustin passes him on the front stretch there. I guess, clipped it. So, I don't know what happened there, but he just ran out of talent, I guess, and he couldn't catch back up. Like I said, Bobby Pierce goes on to win in Illinois. No shock there. At that point, I don't know about y'all, but I was like, this is going to be a long weekend. Would like to point out, since this is back combined, Florida Outlaws and Lucas, there you had Bobby, Ricky, Hoffman, Shepard, Davenport. That was your top 5. Kind of no shock there, I guess. The only, the one that was a little bit out of touch there was Moran. He had a rough week. He ended up getting a win, I guess, but he started off. He wasn't great. He wasn't always in the conversation like the other ones were. Bobby, Ricky, Davenport, and then Shepard were pretty much there every night. Good to see Shepard looking better too. He was consistent all week. I think they're really getting that car dialed back in. So good to see that for sure. So that was a good one. Had a great time. I love those Flow Racing Night in America. It's presented by Kubota this year, by the way.
Oh.
Not the others.
What?
So, sorry, Kubota. If you guys need a tractor, be sure you buy orange. It's great. It's better than green and red. So be sure you buy some of that. But yeah, unfortunately, Bobby Pierce gets the win, so that really ruined my night. But yeah, other than that, the race was great. I really liked it. It's always good to see a racetrack coming back. What about this resurgence of racetracks? Kind of everywhere except for here, right?
I wish we could have one here.
I mean, we say that. Old D-Watt went to the revival there, Gold Mountain this week, so that's good. And you have hopefully Big South Fork by the end of the year is going to open back up. So there's a little bit, but obviously we lost, 411. That sucked. And Boyd's, for us, this group right here, that's where we've been. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it's awesome seeing them have a good race. Huge show. Did y'all see the fireworks going off like 3/4 of the feature?
Yeah, that was wild. I did see that part.
Like, was that you thought? I think that was on accident.
Oh yeah, it had to be. It almost reminded me of when we went to the damn gateway the first time when they about set the roof on fire.
Oh, they did set the roof on fire. Yeah, that was tough. It was interesting. Like, they're going around the turn and somebody's like, "Caution!" Oh wait, nope, that's fireworks. I was just thinking, like, how loud do you think it was there between the cars and the fireworks? Like, it'd been pretty loud if you're sitting at the track. So otherwise, that was a pretty good night. So. Anyways, following that, Bob Pierce leads the gaggle on down to Spoon River Speedway. What you got on that one there, buddy boy?
So JD got the win at Spoon. It's kind of a cool name for a track. I like to Spoon River as a name. I don't have a whole lot on that one. But
Did you fall asleep?
one of those nights, it may have been that night I didn't stay up for. I can't remember if it was that night or another night. I thought they did a pretty good job of keeping it going. I thought the worst may have been the first night, Tuesday. But then the next night, maybe it depends on what they run with it, if they run support classes or if they don't. So
yeah. What was cool about this week is they also ran the modifieds on this little Illinois Speed Week. That was pretty cool. They definitely were a little bit behind Tuesday or whatever with the South. I think where they hadn't been open in a while, the line to get in was so long. Definitely a bold move to go for a $20,000 to win late model race, your first race in operation in 4 years, And I saw where they were having some problems like with people paying to get in. It looked like the line to get in was pretty long. So I think they pushed the start because of that, because it came on flow, and then it was like an hour before it started.
I was watching it, and then I was like, are they going to start? Or what's there's got to be some kind of backstory on why they're not starting yet. So that makes sense.
I saw on X that it looked like they got to back up at the gate, and they didn't want to get everybody started while people were trying to pay and get parked and all that kind of stuff, which, these midweek races, it's a struggle to get everybody in there. Once they got going, though, I felt like everything moved pretty well. You know how the modifieds can be from time to time, though, unfortunately. Thankfully, out there, they don't have these slick tracks like we got, slick clay, at least, they generally keep them going straight for the most part, but definitely some good races. There at Spoon, Shannon Babb, fast qualifier. Good to see him out there having some good runs. He was competitive at Farmer City later in the week as well as at Falls. He was up there mixing up a little bit, so good to see him back out there. I guess, do we think he's still driving a Bloomquist car? Is he like the last one standing, him and McDowell, I guess?
I think at one point, like last year, a couple of years ago, he went to Longhorn,
Yeah. I don't know. I was curious about that. That was one thing I was trying to look for. I didn't see, the classic, like the headlight pieces that they usually have, and then they obviously didn't get a shot of the back to see, the tank if it had the stripes on it. But good to see him up there doing good. I like seeing all these old guys do good. I think that he's probably similar for the guys out there in Illinois, like McDowell would be for us. just like to see him up there running with them. He's obviously getting up in years a little bit. But Brian Shirley wins heat race. Kyle Bronson, Jonathan Davenport, Cody Overton. Bronson showed some speed after dropping off Fort Outlaws, taking a weekend, catching up. He was a little bit relevant at least, so good to see him up there. I figured he'd be back for this, and for somebody that dropped off the tour, he sure did go right back out on the road, didn't he? Didn't waste no time. So good to see him up there. But moving on there, so we start the feature. Shirley on the pole, Davenport on the outside front row. Davenport ends up winning over Hudson O'Neal. Bobby Pierce, Brian Shirley, Dennis Erb Jr., your top five. Bobby again, Davenport again. They were up there all weekend pretty much. Hudson needed a good run. He's been struggling a little bit. We talked last week about how, he's in that group for Lucas where it's like maybe, right, between him and Alberson and that gaggle. So good to see him have a good run. Good to see the 49 absolutely just rolling, though. He's been consistent. Where's your flag at, by the way? We'll get to that, too.
Right there.
Here at the end of this deal, you're supposed to be purchasing one now. So
I thought you said you were purchasing
no. I said I expect there to be one, which meant you're going to buy it. I ain't got no money. I don't know what you're talking about.
Communication was unclear
I'm
there.
broke, so you need to order you one.
Right.
But yeah, it was a good deal. Spoon River. I thought I liked this track more, but I'll be honest, them last two tracks, Friday, Saturday is really probably like two of the best tracks in the country. But all these tracks out there are just awesome, man. Like, they're pretty much two lines. They fluff up. They build a little cushion. We never have a cushion in Tennessee. Have you ever seen a cushion in Tennessee?
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while you get like, a half inch?
Yeah, if it's rained for the last 3 months and been cold.
Yeah. So good to see all that going for them. But good run. Davenport gets the win. That's like 20 on the year. Just kidding. Not really. But he ends up holding off Hudson. Hudson coming late, didn't get there. And it was a good one. 49 gets the win. Check that one off. Going on, I suppose, Thursday night to Lincoln Speedway, Lincoln, Illinois. And, pretty much more the same, right?
Yeah, same deal with. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot on this one. Moran got the win, which is I like to see him win when he's got the chance to run well. He's been doing pretty good this year, so he got another win. So I'll take it.
Yeah, he got the shot there off the start, and I believe led every lap. I believe wire to wire there. Lincoln won over Ricky Thornton, Brian Shirley, Ryan Gustin, Bobby Pierce, Ethan Dotson, Timmy McCready, Brandon Overton, Nick Kaufman, Brandon Shepard. Davenport finished 13th. I believe that was his worst finish of the week for those of us that might be 49 fans. Other than that, is this when they start? The points start this week, I guess. Shepard was fast time. Shepard, again, relevant all week. Good to see. He needs that. Racing needs that. Me and JP talked about that a couple weeks ago. That we kind of need Rocket One to be good, and we need people to buy their cars.
Yeah.
Because everybody running the same Longhorn Dynamic shock package every weekend ain't going to cut it, So good to see him up there, and the Illinois boys, they don't mess around. So glad to see that. Moving on from there, we went into the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series portion of the show. Are y'all there?
Yeah.
Okay. My video's cutting out a little bit. Sorry, guys. I don't know if it's cutting out really bad here on I have nothing on my screen. I might have to edit this. We'll see. Moving on to the Lucas Oil part of the show, went to Farmer City Raceway and Farmer City, Illinois on Friday night, $25,000 to win. I thought it was a great race night. I got to watch that one in full. Farmer City Speedway, 44 cars. Brandon Shepard sets fast time. Goes on, wins a heat. Ricky Thornton Jr., Brian Shirley, Jonathan Davenport also win heats. Brian Shirley, really good weekend for him, too, in the 3S machine, right? The Squirrel.
I like Brian Shirley.
Do you? Let me ask a question about Brian Shirley. Do you like that rap? Does it do anything for you?
I think that one's good, and all the ones he's had in the past couple of, let's just say 3 or 4 years. I don't know. It's something about it. It's a different number than other guys have. And
there is something about it, but, the dudes on the broadcast were like, "Oh, I just love seeing the 3S," and I was like, "Man, I think maybe he also has a little of that like Dale McDowell, like been around for a while,
Yeah.
same rat, pretty much consistent.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
consistent.
maybe people just like it for that reason. But I was like, yeah, maybe he's more compared to like a Jimmy Owens. How about that? Like he's been on tour, done decent from time to time, but I don't know. I guess he doesn't have the championships like Owens does. I suppose. I don't know. Maybe he has some more Outlaws championships. Back in the day, I was only a Lucas guy, so I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, I just thought it was interesting. They were talking about his rap, and I was kind of like, yeah, it's good. He's cool. I kind of like the 8 that he ran last year for a while when he was running that. But yeah, I don't know. So good to see him up there getting in the mix. Brandon Shepherd was on pretty much a rocket ship there. I really thought he was going to win that race, and then Tricky Ricky just came and got it. This is the track that has that wall, like absolutely, like right where they have the merge lane, and they come off of I guess it's turn 4. It's weird because like I guess it's turn 2. Because the camera's on the backstretch there when you're watching it on flow, right? So I think it's that one. I get kind of messed up, but it had that wall when they're like coming around the corner and barely missing it. And every time they're coming up off the corner on the camera, you think they're about to hit the wall. And sometimes they clip it and spark it up. And it made for some really good stuff, like guys getting really good runs. And some of them would kind of like go out because there's no wall on the actual straightaway, slide up over that and get in that cushion a little bit. They had a lot of flat tires in the feature. Which I felt like there was a piece of debris that I could see on the camera, like out in that fluff outside, and it was usually the guys that would push over trying to get just a little bit extra on the straightaway, push out there. So ones that was getting the flat right rears, and I really think that's where maybe there was a piece of debris at. They had them out there on the four-wheelers searching, like, I don't know, they were looking for OJ or something. I don't know, but they never did find anything. They had some flat tires for sure. Which is always unfortunate. I felt like, 19M, Spencer Hughes, is that who's driving that now?
Yeah.
Had like 17 flat tires. Like, I mean, they kept bringing him down. And like I said, they were out there looking for that. Anyways, Thornton ends up making the pass in traffic, like 8 laps left in the deal. Felt bad for Shepherd. Really, I'm not really a Rocket 1 guy. But I really wanted Shepherd to win, kind of. And I'm getting tired of Ricky Thornton winning all the races. I like Ricky Thornton, but I like to see a little variety,
As long as it's not Bobby Pierce.
I mean,
yeah, I'm kind of sick of him winning too, honestly. I just, like, you turn it on flow or whatever, and he's winning again.
Yeah. I mean, like, it gets boring watching the same guy win. Like, it's not a knock on his talent at all.
Yeah.
And I like Ricky. I bought merch. I like Ricky. I'm not saying I don't, but he's just like, he comes from kind of sometimes nowhere too. Like, he just at the end of the race, there he is, the closer, Ricky Thornton Jr., and he just finds just a little bit. And it's really the one thing about that though. Like, when I get bored, I want to think back to like, this dude is making the decisions. He's had like 3 different teams. I mean, I know he's really only had 3 different teams, but crew guys. Every time I open X or listen to another dirt racing podcast, he's lost a crew member. So I'm like, poor Ricky. But he's just out there getting it done, and I appreciate that. He likes to drive stuff. I think he's a natural-born racing talent, and I do like that about him, and I think that's how he ends up getting it done. But, you can only see him win so many times, and smile like this, like he does. He's got that same look every time, in the buzz cut that he must do in the trailer by himself. But no, congratulations, Ricky, for sure on getting the win. That's probably like win number 55 on the year for him. I know that it's dumb of me to say I get mad when he wins because Davenport's won a lot too and all that. But I don't know. Ricky just like something about that car. Like you see it coming and the screen, and I'm like, oh here we go.
Yeah.
Like every time. So, but congratulations, Ricky, on the win. Obviously, in the point standings, that's a big deal for him to get the win there in Lucas. So, him and Pierce both, I guess, dominating their respective series pretty much at this point. And, I really expected Pierce and him to kind of, go at it a little bit more this week. And Bobby did not finish the race there. He had a flat running like second, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe he was third. Like maybe 20 laps in, and he was running around the back, and he wasn't going to pass anybody. I think he just pulled it in to save his stuff. So, I was hoping to see. I like it when they get to race together. They don't get to race together a lot, obviously in Illinois, out there in Bobby's hometown. So, But good to see that race. That was a great show. I enjoyed it. At the end of this race, I'm just like, why can't we just take Illinois? This is 4 nights in a row at this point. Can we just move it to Knoxville, Tennessee? Because I don't want to live in Illinois, because it's cold and it snows, and it sounds dumb, but you get 100 miles north of here, and it's just cold and snowy in the wintertime, and I don't want nothing to do with that. But maybe that's why the racetracks are good. Maybe it helps the dirt. I don't know. They don't have clay. They got that brown dirt, and it nothing races like that brown dirt. I'll give it that. So, congratulations to Ricky Thornton on the win, 25K, big time. All right, moving on. Saturday with Lucas rolls from the Farmer City Raceway into the Fairbury Motor Speedway, Fairbury, Illinois. Fall Spring Shootout, 30,000 to win, and anytime we go there, it's about to be a good one. Obviously, I did not get to watch this live. I was at the, whatever you call it, reunion. So, Big D Watt?
Yes,
you want to take it from the top? Tell us who was on the pole?
Sure. Let me get up on here, my notes here.
Heartbeat Hot Sauce. That's the one.
So, let's see here. So 76, Brandon Overton was on the pole. And just to start things off, I thought it was one of the best races I've seen. Maybe not ever, but in a long, long time. With the slide jobs, I thought it was very clean. I thought they were aggressive. Pierce probably had one of the top cars, I thought, but he just kind of got stuck, and he was trying to be aggressive, but he was just sliding around. And I thought he was going to lose his patience with some of those guys, but he ultimately didn't. But those guys were throwing some good sliders, and they were clean. So the 49 took the lead with 44 to go. He got out there and he took off. It was caution free for a while, and then a McIntosh spun and kind of started the caution. And then once one caution failed, and there was a few more falling after that. But 16 kind of run over to 76 with 58 with 30 to go. And then Shepard really started. He maybe had the best car, and then just kind of ran out of laps at the end. But once he finally started throwing his sliders and getting going, he was tough to beat. But I like to see those two guys race at the end, very clean and aggressively, but didn't make much contact at all. So that was good to see as well. But then the 99 and 20 get together. It looked like the 20 spun. Is that right? And then Moran had just ran right.
Just kind of got in the back of him, he had nowhere to go.
Yeah, nowhere to go. So when I saw that, then that was a late restart.
Yellow.
Yeah, late yellow there. So it was just the 49 was hanging on, and man, I was upstairs pretty much just on my feet standing up, hoping he would get it together, and then. JP picked him to win last week on the show, so that was a strong pick there.
God, we were trying to forget that. Come on now.
So, but anyway, just my thoughts was great race, and anytime you go up there, it's always going to be a good one. And So, and one thing I do like is they have to, so the walls get covered in that dirt, so they always got to get a shovel and scrape the wall. So anytime you see them scraping, it's going to be a good night.
That is true. We don't see that down here hardly ever. So you used to see that at Cleveland. We used to love racing at Cleveland. I remember back in the day they used to do that at Cleveland all the time. Every once in a while you see it in North Georgia. But I mean, all these other tracks that they pack 4 days in advance and throw some plastic sealer on top of it or whatever they do to make them slick. I don't know. But it was a great race, man. I watched I watched the replay of the full feature actually on Sunday morning, and I was kind of like you, standing there oh my gosh. Shepard up there on the wall at the end, those last 6 laps on that restart, he fell back the first lap, and I was like, oh, he's gone. And then, he was took it up another half tire width up there on that cushion, and he was running him down, and then Davenport ended up having to run. He likes the middle per usual wherever he goes. And he basically had to run up and block him, and I could tell he was getting the signal sticks, go up there. And then Shepard did pass him. He threw the slider on him and got by him, and then Davenport drove back under him. And I thought they were going to do that basically till the end of the race, but Davenport ended up having just enough that one time off the exit back there, and really kind of put the block in my mind on poor Brandon Shepard. But again, great weekend for Shepard. I feel like for the Rocket One team, definitely a lot of momentum for them going forwards from where they've been. really since start of the year. So really, if you want to go back, probably since like the last time Brandon Shepherd drove the car. Honestly, like it's been a while, almost 2 years now that they've kind of been struggling. So definitely good to see them getting that done. And I mean, I think probably, this new thing we talk about race of the year. I don't know. It's way too early to say it's race of the year, but like so far, probably, right? I mean, they're going to go back for the PDC, and it's probably going to do it again. So we'll see what's better then. Obviously we're all a little bit homers. We all got some 49 merch here in the background. So I'm not going to lie. But, if that was Bobby Pierce, I'd probably be like, bleh. But
I'd be double fingering the camera if it was Bobby Pierce.
I don't know. Again, I can appreciate a good race. Kind of like what we're saying, it gets boring to watch Ricky race, but watching these guys go out there, or, seeing Ricky Thornton win all the time, but watching good racing is what it's all about. And I just don't, I guess, like, is there any other, since we're done, we're just kind of wrapping up this Illinois Speed Week thing. They talked about it a little bit on Flow, like that Rigsby and them put this together, and, like, it's wild. And they put on, I mean, in my opinion, basically 8.5 plus races, which is hard to do, man. Like, nobody really ran away with anything. None of them were boring. None of them rubbered up. Like, I mean, is there any other state we could do this in? Because I'm starting to think the answer is no.
Probably not anything in the South, that's for sure.
I mean, I was talking to Pops about it, like, North Carolina, South Carolina, that's probably the home for, like, asphalt short track racing, right? But, like, Illinois for late model racing has got to be it. I mean, like, I don't know that it gets any better. I would love to go to Illinois Speed Week. I'll see myself like, I wonder if I could take vacation next year for this. I'm sure the wife would not love that, but I don't know. Maybe go up there and catch 3 or something like that, because I really enjoyed it. And there's definitely some tracks up there I'd like to go to. And I'm amazed at the crowds they put on every night. Like, if you come, you know how it is, like when Southern Nationals even comes here and runs their Southern Nationals Summer Series or whatever, mini Hell Tour kind of thing for 2 weeks. Like, they race at I-75 and Volunteer and Boyd's back to back to back. And, like, dude, Boyd's would always kind of cheat because they bring Austin and Ty Dillon in, right?
Oh, yeah.
NASCAR night. But, really, without that, it's kind of hard for them to draw crowds. And just because they're close together, it's the middle of the week. People got stuff to do. But, the state of Illinois must love their dirt racing. That's all I got to say. And I know why, because if I watched that every weekend, I probably would too. Sometimes we have to go to the track around here, and it's like, well, can't win them all, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we watch a lot of, sometimes what can be boring races. So I thought overall, great job for Flo. I really like that whole concept of like Speed Week kind of thing. Yeah. It would be cool at some point if we can figure out a way to make like, if we can find some more states that you could do it in, almost make like mini series, and then have the best each state and make it its own point series. Like, I would almost like to see this Flow in America thing turn into like maybe just having like 3 or 4 weeks of that same kind of style, paired up with Lucas Road Outlaws, and then have a championship race or whatever. Because they do have points, which is big time. It's really cool. They pay $20,000 midweek shows. Like, that's not a joke. Yeah, it's a lot of money. If you go look this weekend, Port Outlaws is running for 12 and 30 and 20. Lucas, I think, is running 10 and 50 or something like that at Eagle. But, like, they're matching that money, right? Plus, so definitely cool to see that. But I really enjoyed it. And, I guess the question is, did you enjoy Florida Speed Week, Florida Speed Weeks more? Or did you enjoy Illinois Speed Week more?
I'll go ahead and start. I enjoyed this past week's better, I think.
Yeah.
Just because it was Tuesday to Thursday, and then it led into the Lucas deal. So, and it was both series, came together since the Outlaws were off. And I guess I liked it better as well just because of the dirt and it's some different tracks that I don't always get to see. And I like the midweek stuff. Well, I go to work, get home, eat, and then turn on Flow and watch.
Yeah, JP's usually trying to iRace, get wrecked or something.
I mean, I do like it too. I think especially with how much better the racing was up there compared to the racing that they had down in Florida and Georgia.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, there was some good races in Georgia.
There was.
Volusia had a rough year. You know, I know they're putting fresh clay, dirt, whatever on it, and we'll see what that does to help it out. But I don't know. I thought it was really good. I'll tell you the one thing kind of that I really enjoyed more than I thought I would, because usually I'm knocking modifieds. But I knock modifieds because we watch guys race modifieds around here, not up there where they actually race them. That's part of it. But like, to run supers and modifieds instead of supers and 604s and 602s, like it's more entertaining. It's more pleasing to the eye to see different types of cars on the track, in my opinion. And when you have the car counts like they did 40 in each class, you don't have to have a third class. And it's great for midweek. I was telling old Pops over the weekend as well that unfortunately I've got to this point where I realized that, like, even though in my mind, and I got buy a ticket to a race, there's only two classes, or it's a NASCAR race and it's 50 miles shorter, 100 miles shorter, I feel like I'm getting ripped off because I'm paying the same price I paid for the ticket last year. Some of that's just filler time, man. And, like, I got too much other stuff going on.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind to go, like, I love to go on, you know, the weekend with y'all and hang out at the racetrack and eat pizza and watch a race or whatever. But, like, you know, as far as these midweek races go, like, it's really good to have short, sweet, to the point, and then solid racing. I think with the modifieds up there in particular, your field's just strong in Illinois. There's all kinds of modifieds out there in the Midwest.
Yeah.
We don't have that here. Here, the crates are probably stronger than modifieds overall, like as far as car counts and quality. But it just looks like you're running supers with a smaller motor, right? So, I don't know. Just kind of interesting thing that I did think really improved it. And I liked watching that Drake Troutman out there getting it done in the modified as well. And some of those guys try to run double duty pretty much every night, I think. So that's cool. Definitely tough to do that 5 nights in a row. And I don't know. Those modifieds out there, they put on the good races. But I think it has more to do with the track than anything else. So that was it. I enjoyed Illinois Speed Week. All right. We've talked about that. We are 45 minutes in. So good thing we were trying to shoot this thing pretty quick. All right. D-Watt, you got to take the advantage to go see the revival of the Gold Mountain Speedway. Real quick, couple things about Gold Mountain Speedway. It is a 3/8 mile located in Sparta, Tennessee. How'd you feel about it?
Oh, I liked it. I would highly recommend it. I'll go from the beginning here kind of quickly. So it was a hot and ready 40. So my wife and I, after work, we headed up to Sparta, Tennessee, and got up there and went to the local hot and ready, and got us I call it a hot and ready, but it's really a hot and slow. But went in there. I really had to wait about 15 minutes, it felt like.
Dude, it's so bad. They don't have any pizzas hot and ready at Little Caesars anymore. I love Little Caesars. Thank you for sponsoring dirt racing, but by God. Listen, I got a Little Caesars story too. Then we'll let you continue. Real quick. I went last week. We went Mother's Day shopping. I had to eat on the way out. Got some bad news from somebody. Put me in like a little panic. And I went home and I was like, oh, we forgot to get food. I was like, we'll go to the Little Caesars and get a pizza. They have a drive-thru. I ordered it in the app. Got there like 10 minutes later. It was ready. They're like, no, you can't come in here. Or you can't go through the drive-thru. So it says, there's a sign that says pull around on the order board. So I pull around the window and it says come in. Well, the whole point I ordered the freaking $6 slices and sticks is because I have a 2-year-old in the back seat and I want to go through the freaking drive-thru. If I have to go in, I'm going to go somewhere with quality pizza, you bunch of idiots. Somebody go out here to Kingston Pike for Little Caesars Pizza. This one down here on Kingston Pike. I got the videos and the pictures. Hit me up on X. Hit me up on TikTok. I'm telling you right now, go down there and fire all of them because it's terrible. There's no reason for that. I don't care. That it literally doesn't take any more staffing to open the window than it does to talk to me when I come in. No, why are you laughing? Am I wrong?
No.
COVID is gone. Open the freaking drive-thru. God bless. I want the pizza now. I want a refund. It's happened twice. The first time I let it go. This time, I'm not going to lie, I was a real dick. I circled the building, took pictures of both of them, and I'm going to file a complaint. Haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it, though.
And being a real Karen like that.
If y'all check my X tonight, I'll post the pictures later, and you can see me complaining about it, and we'll see if they reply.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. All right, sorry. So you got your slow and not ready.
Got my slow and not ready pizza. We ate that in the car, and then we headed on to Gold Mountain Speedway. It was my new track number 36 and my new dirt track number 26. So I talk a little bit about the gate. So we get to the track. It was probably about 15 minutes north of like the downtown Sparta area. Went to the track. I'm thinking it was probably like, I text you, it was maybe 6:45 or 6, something like that. And as I got closer, I thought, okay, some cars lined up. We'll see how long the wait is. I didn't know what to expect. I knew it hadn't been open in 20 years, so might be some people there. So it was testing my patience a little bit, but it was kind of like a I-75 raceway or something like that, where you go and you just kind of get in line, and then there's like a gate or a booth, and you pay the booth, and then you go park in the grass. So we sat in the grandstands. They have very nice concrete bleachers. So we took a chair, which was nice and comfy we were there for a while. So that worked out very nice. I'd recommend it just to sit in the bleachers. Very nice. My other hot take would be I've been to one other track that's a lot of blue. That track they got blue flag stand, they got blue press box. Florence was a lot of blue, with it being in Kentucky. So that made sense, but this track, I'd like to kind of know why they picked blue. So it opened in 2002 and it closed in 2005, and now it's reopened in 2025. So that was, they talked a little bit about the back history, not a lot. They also have a off-road course. I'm not into that kind of thing a lot, but I'm sure they make a lot of money on that. I think they got a off-road event and a race in, 2 weeks I saw, so they're going to try to do both at the same time. It's a beautiful little area. The mountain is just right there. You're looking right at it, and then behind you, it's also right behind you. And then they bulldoze part of the mountain, so when you're walking in, it's pretty unique. Like, you got the mountain here, and then you got an open pathway, and then you got more trees right next to the grandstand. So I thought that was pretty unique compared to some of the tracks I go to. Track-wise, 3/8 mile, semi-banked. It reminded me a little bit of back when we had Boyd Speedway. It's kind of the banking, but maybe more banked than Boyd's. Kind of like 411, maybe a little bit on the banking-wise, which is now no longer around.
Copart.
Yeah, well. Feature-wise, I'll just go ahead and jump to the feature part. I believe they had, 24, 25 cars, something like that. So it was a full feature. They had some motor issues. I don't know. I'm just a fan, so I'm not sure what was causing these motor issues this early in the year. It was cooler, but then, they blow up. It just takes a minute to finally get it cleaned up. So that part was a little bit frustrating. And then what took a little bit of time was track prep. I get it. It rained a lot the night before, maybe a little bit, and then throughout the week it rained. So it took a little bit they ran the hot laps fine, it seemed like, and then they brought out the grader and did turns 1 and 2, turns 3 and 4, and they did it from the very top to the very bottom, and they didn't miss an inch. So I was like, well. And then they brought it out again, maybe after the heats, they redid the track.
Oh, Lord.
So I got home at 2:15 in the morning.
Wow.
So that's all.
Listen, first race in 20 years, man. First race in 20 years.
At least they actually did something to the track, unlike the other tracks around here.
I was gonna say, at least they tried.
Yeah, and it did look better. And also, I didn't get a picture, I meant to, but there was no track prep watching. During the first track prep, there was no drivers. I don't know if they weren't allowed to watch or what, but there was no watching.
Okay. They can't watch track prep at Gold Mountain Speedway.
No.
Maybe heard it here first, folks. Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. Can't watch track prep at Gold Mountain. All you topless outlaws going up there later in the year, be sure you pay attention. No, that's cool, man. I'm glad. So this is my question, and this is out there, and I might or may not be asking for selfish reasons. Yep. So the whole off-road park thing, so was there people just rolled up to the track interior parking and side-by-sides and Jeeps?
No, there was not any of that. Now, they had some really good interior parking. They had in turns 1 and 2, kind of like a North Georgia. It's kind of what what I thought about it was. And they had some on the back straightaway, sort of like I-75. But I did see, next time if I were to go back, which I'd like to go back, is to sit with my chair in turns 1, and then you don't got to pay the tier price. You just pay for the grandstands. And also, in the grandstands, they didn't seem to have any kind of rules on coolers or outside food of any sort. So that was unique because So you pay at the booth, and then you just go park in the parking lot, and you just walk straight in, and they don't check your ticket or anything. So
like once you're in, you're in. I guess.
Once you're in, you're in, and they don't seem to check much. They
That's
sold
cool.
some stickers, koozies, hats, shirts. I got a shirt.
Yeah.
But I'd highly recommend it. It was like an hour 20 from my house, so
Ain't bad.
not too bad at all. It's an easy drive, like 65 miles up on 111, then you just get off in Sparta.
Crap, that's honestly no farther for y'all than I-75, probably.
Yeah.
Really.
That's a little longer, but not
Is
too
it?
much.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's like an hour 28 from my house. When I put it in, I was surprised. For me, it would take me to Crossville and then get off, I guess, and take 127 down to Sparta, which, I used to work for a company that's based out, has a distribution center in Sparta anyways, and I guess it's somewhere around there. But they need a sponsor. They've been sponsoring some crap in North Wilkesboro. ECMD, get on the horn and call up Gold Mountain Speedway. I know you people got money. Share it. Share the love with the locals.
Also, Zach Seiss took home the win.
Yes, I love him.
Yeah.
He probably led the second half of the feature. The pole setter, I think, had an engine issue. I think he was also the points leader. He looked really good, but he had some kind of mechanical issue. One other thing was a lot of guys were having issues. I don't know, the track didn't seem to be that rough. There was all kind of guys pulling off the track with some kind of flat tire or issue. The flag stand is more towards turn 4, kind of like at 411, which is no longer around. But that track, I felt like I could compare a lot with them in 411. So I kind of like the flag stand on down a little bit. That was kind of nice. But the last lap, Zach Seiss kind of, which we see it everywhere we go. But last lap, they were fighting over some room, and Zach Seiss just kind of shut. It wasn't anything.
Oh, Zach Seiss moved somebody?
That's kind of
No, never.
It kind of threw a good elbow, and the
It's
guy.
a shame 23V had to go put it in.
Yeah.
Sin wasn't there for that one.
We've seen them two get in a couple
okay.
altercations.
Okay, little back history there. Okay,
That's money.
so he shut the door on them and went on to win. And there were some of the fans that were sitting around us were hoping the guy in second was going to win, but there wasn't any kind of bad blood or anything after getting slammed on the last lap. But
That's good.
and yeah, it was good. And so all in all, I'd recommend it. I'm glad they reopened, and hopefully they make it. Hopefully both the off-road park and the speedway make it. Well, I hope the speedway makes it, but I'm sure the off-road's a good
Off-road
option.
park will definitely help the speedway, so
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing all around. I think, I think that just kind of from what I'm observing, they have a really good potential with the off-road park to help feed the racetrack. It's hard to get a racetrack up and going if you got a little income from the off-road park, and I think they even got a little bit of camping up there, maybe some concerts, whatever they get going. A lot of these side-by-side places, kind of Windrock is the mold if you're trying to do the off-road thing, right? So if you can get some of that going, that's probably good, and hopefully that'll help them out. So I think that's all cool too. Like, I'd love to go like off. That's like a dream day is go off road and then go over to the racetrack and drink beer and then sleep there.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine that? That'd be a day, wouldn't it?
It would.
Like, I don't have a side by side. I've been looking on Marketplace, but I don't have one, and that'd be cool. I don't know. I would enjoy that. But it sounds like it's a great place. I definitely want to get up there. Hopefully by the end of the year, kids and all. But hopefully I'll make it, and if I do, hopefully you'll go with me, so I don't have to go by myself and be all alone. But that's cool.
They got one more. Is it June or July? They got the topless
Yeah,
series going for 4,000 to win.
I would really like to go to that. I don't get to see that series enough. I'm sure you listened to the podcast last week, but me and JP were talking about like it's like our favorite local series. So real quick story, because you're talking about being in the grandstands, and it reminded me. One time, me and JP, I don't think you were there. We were at 411.
Oh, yeah.
Zach Seiss, Corey Hedgecott get together coming off turn 4. Corey ends up in the infield. Seiss ends up in the infield, and we're both wearing 23 shirts. This is the funky chicken days, and there's this guy that's had one too many sips of the wild turkey right next to us, and then on the other side of him is like some of Corey's family, and then on the other side of him is some of Zach's family, and this guy's like, "Daddy's money!" And I don't know which one he's talking about, to be honest with you, but he gets up and starts screaming, and he's like screaming at with like one of them on the track, and then Corey's like standing on the roof of his car, and I'm like, what are we doing right now? And these people, so you're talking about being in the grandstands and somebody sitting like JP over here, he gets loud, obnoxious sometimes. He said something. I was like, oh, shit, we're about to get in a fight. Hey, it's 411 grandstands, but you couldn't drink alcohol at 411. I don't know how that guy had the wild turkey, but by God, he had a pint of wild turkey and a couple of those, was it like Sex on the Beach, those Malibu ones you can buy at the beach, the wine coolers or whatever. So, yeah, that was one of my favorite 411 stories.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Rest in peace to the 411. By the way, there were some rumors circulating that 411
that was from Weber Valley Speedway. If you didn't,
I did
look into it too hard.
It got out of control because there was also like Tennessee Racing Facebook group, which I don't know if you're a part of.
Yeah.
If you're not, you should be. I love Tennessee Racing Facebook group, just for the record. If you get in there, I don't know if I'm assuming both y'all are probably in it, but like, they give you the schedules for the week, what everybody locals racing. It's a good place to go and check on that. Rain out, updates, pictures, all that mess, especially for the local classes. So if you're here in Tennessee, be sure to check that out as well. But, yeah, I don't know. Glad to go there. All right. I guess we're going to wrap it up with dirt. A couple other wins I'll talk about real quick. We're going to run because we're running out of time. At least we don't have nothing to talk about at Kansas because nobody wants to listen to me bitch about NASCAR. But yeah, big wins there for my boy. What's his name? Jimmy Owens gets a win. $10,000 win at Spring Nationals Lake Cumberland Speedway, Burnside, Kentucky. Glad to see Jimmy get a win, man. I always glad to see those show.
I'm a big fan of him, and to see kind of like a movie that he would have pulled years ago on somebody, to see him go from third to first, it's kind of a vintage Jimmy Owens, I felt like.
Yeah, he needed that.
He still got it a little bit, so definitely a fan of that. He gets the win over Garrett Smith, Justin Ratliff, Ricky Weiss, Jensen Ford, Cameron Marler, Corey Hedgecock, Jason Jameson, Will Hutton, Justin Smith. Oh, Corey did not do enough for me, to be honest with you. I was really disappointed in the 16 car count, but it's unfortunate for them. That's the $10,000 race. I feel like, maybe could have done better than that. But, yeah, Topless Outlaws was supposed to race at Duck River, got rained out late. A lot of those guys were running that. So, anyways, that was a good weekend for that. Anything else they point out? Josh Rice gets the Ironman win, Atomic Speedway. Other than that, nothing like too crazy. Mac McCarter gets the crate win at Bulls Gap. The follow-up to the race you went to there. Congratulations to him. Other than that, we're done. Moving on. This upcoming week, we got a lot of dirt racing again. Not quite as much, but still a good. Actually, probably more, really, honestly. Just no Flow. Well, yes, Flow. There's Flow, too. Damn it. Flow's at Marshalltown Tuesday night. Iowa, I suppose. And then Ward Outlaws is at Raceway 7, which is somewhere, Connecticut. In Ohio, Conneaut, Ohio. They're at Raceway 7 on Wednesday? No. God, I can't. The 15th. Is that Thursday? Whack. That is Thursday. Yeah, then they go to Marion Center for 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. And then they also race Sunday at Bedford. So Pennsylvania always got these Sunday day races. All about that. The 20,000 win there at Bedford, 30,000 win at Marion Center Saturday night. Lucas is at Eagle all week, 10,000, 10,000, 50,000 to win at the Eagle Raceway in Eagle, Nebraska.
Something new for them? Is that a new track for them? I never heard of that one.
They went last year too. Okay. This is the second year for this one. Definitely pretty cool. You should watch. High Limit goes there. I don't think they really run a lot of late models out there. I think it's kind of newer for late models to go to Nebraska or whatever. So it was pretty good last year though. So I would tune in if I was y'all for that if you have the opportunity. Hunt Front, Smoky Mountain Speedway. Like I said, there's just so many of these series now. All Stars Carolina Clash, 604 crates are all over the place. All Star crates are Rock Castle Speedway. The one I was just talking about had a great announcer. BMF, Mountain View, 2000 win. Nobody cares about that, probably us. But yeah, so I'm going to try to possibly go to this Hunt Front race, Smoky Mountain, maybe. We'll see. I actually asked the wife if she wanted to go, so we'll see. If I go, I'll probably take the kid because he went there last time. We can do tier parking so he can be in the truck. For him, it's kind of a big deal to do tier parking where we can, move, and not have to sit still. So been wanting to take him back since the first one. Hated we hadn't got to make it out to another one, but we'll see. It's also supposed to be good temperatures, but possibly rain. Didn't say it out loud, sorry. But so we'll see what happens there. I'll let y'all know either way. Other than that, we will wrap up this nonsense crap called asphalt real quick. I'm going to go through these real quick notes, and then we'll talk about y'all's opinion on the race. Cup Series, Truck Series at Kansas. We'll do Cup first because it was more boring than Trucks, honestly. Cup Series, basically, Kyle Larson just came out there and beat everybody's ass. He led 260 laps or something.
268, I think.
Here it is. Kyle Larson, 221 laps out of 267. So, yeah, he pretty well spanked them. Won the pole, won both stages, led all the laps, set the fastest time. Like, literally a maximum points day of 61 points. Can't beat that with anything out there. So, congratulations to Kyle on whooping everybody's rear end. The Hendrick cars were all good. Byron lost a tire, running second. He looked like he was maybe going to compete with Larson early. Then Chase looked like he was going to have a chance. And then
Chase sucks.
You can say it all you want, but he's still right. He's not winning, but he's running as good as anybody. Larson got the better of him on the air. I mean, that's what happened, really. They're in stage 2 or whatever. Hamill was having problems with clutch issue.
Yeah, he lost clutch completely, and eventually it shit the bed. I guess my PayPals are going through to whoever works at Joe Gibbs Racing that is messing up his car every week.
I'm proud of you. Dear Dennis, JP paid for you to break. Congratulations. Somebody must have got to put a pin in it. I ain't got no pin in it. But yeah, they had a really good race there, Hamlin and Larson in the second stage, I felt like, on that restart. And Chase took the lead for like a half lap, and then Larson like side drafted down the back stretch. And I was like, yep, never mind. So much for that. Chase also looked good in stage 3. Ends up they like had an issue on the right rear, I believe, on the last pit stop. Kind of dropped back. So Larson ran away with it. Blaney sucks. Blaney still sucks. Blaney always sucks. Right, do what?
Oh, he runs that. He'll run that top 5, top 10. He'll top 10 me to death. Man, that's one thing about being a fan of Ryan Blaney. You just got to be able to put up with his top 5s. But eventually
sucks to suck.
Chase Elliott's running top 15. He's top 15 in me to death. So I understand your pain. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, I think the race was I mean, I'm not going to just get on here every week and talk crap about these cars. But, guys, like, we're at the mile and a half, and the cars are terrible. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I don't know. Larson is pretty well dominated. I can't remember what happened at Vegas. I think he had a pit stop issue where he sped on pit road at Vegas. So I'm pretty sure he was going to win that one. Texas is the only mile and a half that he hasn't really looked like he was going to win at. And like we talked about last week, Texas is not really a standard mile and a half because it's only like a half-length racetrack, and he wasn't terrible there either. He just he couldn't get going on restarts, and he was getting the dirty air. It's all about the air on these mile and a halves. I don't know. It is what it is. I would pick Larson probably this weekend going into the All-Star race. We haven't got to picks yet, but I'd probably pick him to win. He dominated Bristol. He dominated the All-Star race last year, if I remember. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, am I wrong? Pretty sure he won the All-Star race last year.
I think he won.
I think so.
At Wilkesboro. So, I don't know, because last year was the second one. Did he win the first one there? I don't want to be wrong on that.
I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
I think our old Knoxville buddy's gonna make an appearance in the Open there. I believe, maybe. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I hadn't seen an entry list. We're going to have the NASCAR All-Star Open on Saturday, followed by the NASCAR All-Star Race, it's on Sunday, followed by the All-Star Race Trucks on Saturday. That Sunday race I would not mind to go to. Probably not going to go because, like I said, I told y'all before this thing started, I'm going to be out of town next weekend, so I really need to watch my kid and help my poor wife out. I'm really trying to find this All-Star race winner. 2024 All-Star race winner was Logano.
Not
Oh,
he
Larson.
won last year.
Larson won one before, right?
But the true winner was a Stenhouse Jr. For the attempt to
fight with Kyle Busch on that nonsense. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna pick. I'll just go ahead and make the pick. We'll make the pick at the end again. But I'm picking Larson to win this thing. And he is going to be there. He's going to be skipping Fast 6 qualifying, so he's starting 6th in the Indy 500. Y'all can go ahead and mark that down. I'll go ahead and make that for my second pick. And he's running a high limit this week. I'll go ahead and give him for the win for that. That's my 3 picks right there. So, yeah. got those locked in. That was easy enough. Larson all the way. I don't know. I'm fangirling Kyle Larson. I got 2 brand new Kyle Larson shirts in this week. I'm ready to go to Indy and just be that guy, unfortunately. So all the actual Indy fans are probably going to hate me, and I just don't care, honestly. The only reason I'm going this year, I mean, I want to go at some point, but the reason I put it okay, I didn't really ask the wife if I could go. I just said we were going was because it's Kyle Larson. So we're going to see what happens. But yeah, anyways, truck race. Now, this is where it really mattered. Y'all enjoyed the truck race, I'm sure.
I did.
Oh, yeah,
I like the end a whole lot.
They started racing from lap 1. They were 4 wide on the start, and that's basically how they raced the whole race.
The whole race.
Stage 2, Hocevar blocks Lane Riggs to win Stage 2. Pissed Lane Riggs off. He air blocked him. Remember that. Stage 3. Go ahead. Somebody take it from me.
Lane Riggs sucks.
That's not a very good explanation. All right, I'll go through it, and then we'll get y'all's opinion. So basically, Hocevar's winning the race. Riggs is running him down. Hocevar air blocks him. And we're going on the last lap, going into 1 and 2, I guess. And Lane Riggs drives under Hocevar, loses it, slides up, gets into him. They both hit the wall. Somehow William Byron didn't win from 3rd. He must really suck. The fact that William Byron is behind Carson Hocevar, to me, and we saw this earlier in the year when we went to Atlanta, like the 7 and the 07 truck are both Spire trucks, but they are not the same Spire truck because William Byron's a better driver than Carson Hocevar. Sorry, it is what it is. But anyways, Hocevar not real happy with Riggs.
Gave him the finger.
Gave him the finger, coming across the line, takes the win.
I wasn't just across the line. It was
a good little bit.
It was from turn 3 all the way to the finish line.
He gave it to him pretty good. I felt like it wasn't. I don't think it was a dirty move. I think he pinched him down there for one.
Yeah.
But what's y'all's opinion on the whole? Did Lane Riggs do anything wrong? First question: did Lane Riggs do anything wrong?
No.
No, definitely not. You got to go for it.
Okay.
I mean,
talent for both of them to hold on to it, honestly, and not wreck them. I mean, both of them absolutely drove their nuts off to hold on to them. So congratulations both of them on that. I love the race. All right, flipping them off. Yay or nay?
Yes.
Yes. He flipped them off and was pretty cocky in the interview afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, heck yeah. I'll buy a t-shirt on that.
Hey, NASCAR needs some personality, and Carson Hocevar is the next personality. I'm here for it.
He's kind of a cocky bastard, but
ride the Dente, baby.
Yeah.
This is what I have to. I hate to tell everybody this, but the truth is, Carson Hocevar is putting on a masterclass on gaining fans right now, and the rest of NASCAR needs to pay attention. You know where he learned it from, JP? D-Watt doesn't know. Do you know where Carson Hocevar is getting literally 99% of what he does from?
iRacing?
No.
I have no idea.
Cletus McFarland.
There you go.
He even went down there and raced. I'm pretty sure. I think. Maybe. I don't know. He bought the Dale truck. He posts on social media. He's doing his Twitch streaming. Like, he doesn't have the money to go buy a freaking racetrack and race during the week. I'm sure his contract with Spire probably wouldn't let him do that. Just go run some daggum a Chevy Sonic with an LS around a racetrack in the middle of the week. But, like, he's putting on a master class, and he is going to get fans. He's young. I'm also going to go out and say that he has the potential to be the next Kyle Busch. We have 2 guys right now, and this is really where I want to get to, and we have a little bit of time here, and I want to discuss it with y'all. There's 2 guys, I think, in my opinion, that have the next potential to be the next talented, can absolutely drive the wheels off of it drivers. Like, they're not in the current generation, but the next generation. They're a little bit apart, but those 2 are Carson Hocevar and Corey Heim. Both of them, I think, have the potential. Obviously, Heim is still running trucks. He finished 13th at Kansas in his mile-and-a-half debut, I guess. I don't know if y'all noticed that. That was the highest finishing 2311 car. Didn't talk about him a whole lot on TV, but that's a really solid run for somebody that hasn't raced a lot. But Hocevar, I feel like, got jumped up a little bit early to Cup. I know this is, his second year? Second or third year? I think it's second year. Last year was rough. Obviously, your first year in Cup's going to be rough. If it's not, that's a problem. But I think those 2 guys are, like, in my opinion, 1 and 2. Do you think that one of them is better than the other, or going to have a better long-term career?
Corey Heim, I think, is a little bit more smoother and maybe a little bit smarter about how he races. But, Corey's the same way. He's kind of confident in himself. And he runs well in the trucks. I'm hoping he'll get a full-time ride for a championship and for the Xfinity, and then, which he may already. I'm not sure, but I feel like he's been in trucks a lot.
He's running trucks this year. I think he'll be.
Okay.
There's this new whole. This is a weird thing, and Hocevar the same way. Hocevar never ran an Xfinity.
Okay. Yeah.
Really?
I
think he's made a start or two, but he not full time. The new thing is horsepower and aero wise, the Cup cars and the trucks are so much more intact. As far as racing, the same, the racecraft being the same. There's a lot of guys that are skipping the Xfinity series because it just takes too much talent to drive in the Xfinity series. So, like, you got to go to the Cup series because it's easier. I'm sorry, it's funny, but it's true. Unfortunately, I've spoken with drivers in the past, and I'm telling you right now, they will tell you it's easier to drive a Cup car than it's an Xfinity car on a mile and a half. Take Texas, for example. That's a great example. Actually, probably they say you're wrecking loose at Texas and Xfinity car. In a Cup car, you just mat it. You drive in the corner, you hit the brake, you slow down, you mat it again. It's not, I mean, I don't know, man. But I guess, like, I think your point, about being smoother is pretty good. I like that take. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I'm excited. To me, Hocevar reminds me of young Kyle Busch. Like, he's going to tear some crap up, and he has an attitude. Larson was similar to Kyle Busch, but he never really had the attitude. Larson, he's just always been a wheelman.
Larson just never. He races, but it's like he gets out of the car and he doesn't say anything. Yeah. Anytime he gets wrecked, he's never been mad. Like,
yeah.
And I mean, you got to respect him for keeping composure, but it's like, at some point, like, you got to have some passion about it visible, I
mean, like, Hocevar with the Chili's pictures and, like, the freaking cowboy fire suit that he's wearing that, like, half the other drivers wouldn't wear, and, like I said, the Dale truck, and, like, he relates
he's a man
to
of the people.
The fact that he got in his pickup truck and drove from Charlotte to Rockingham to watch the race because he could, like, there's a lot of the drivers they think they're up here, right? They don't live down here. People like Kyle Larson, because why? Because Kyle Larson goes to the dirt track and stands there for 2 hours and signs autographs after the race, right? Yeah. Carson Hocevar, kind of like you said, a man of the people. He watched the race in the infield, like, with everybody else. He didn't go on a hauler. He didn't go on a suite. He could have. He didn't, And I think people appreciate that. And, like, he's going to junk a lot of stuff. Like, he is going to junk a lot of stuff. Like, a lot more race cars. And it's going to be very expensive. Spire's got the money, though. I don't know if y'all know that. They just fired Rodney Childers. They can afford to do whatever they want. So, I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens to him. I think in 10 years we're talking about him being pretty good. We were talking about some of the other drivers did the same kind of thing, though, like junking race cars. Joey Logano. I hate Joey Logano. Y'all know that. But at this point, like, he's probably top 3 drivers out there. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to watching that battle. Hocevar versus Heim. Like I said, I think they're the next top 2. So, all right, Indy 500. We'll talk about that. Let me do that real quick. Indy 500 schedule. Practice Wednesday through Friday. Y'all gonna watch any practice?
Sure.
Probably not.
Probably
watching
not.
No practice. We're talking about practice, son. Come on, bruh. You ain't watching that. I mean, come on, dog. But no, I probably not gonna watch practice. I'm gonna watch qualifying. Saturday and Sunday, you have like the qualifying day. I guess is Sunday or Saturday, and then you have like Fast 12 and Fast 6 qualifying. Kyle Larson has said they moved the Fast 6 qualifying to later in the day, where he's not going to be able to run Fast 6 and go to the All-Star race, it sounds like. He said if he makes Fast 6, he's leaving to go run the All-Star race for $1 million. I think that's a little bit of... I think there's a little bit of an FU about this whole thing. I feel like Penske's put some rules in that he's not... I think they're kind of bullcrap. This whole thing about, like, not letting somebody jump in the car if Larson gets out and they have to park it. And then moving the time. I don't know if that's a broadcast thing or what. That could be a broadcast thing, but it's kind of interesting. Like, if they wanted to start their qualifying when they did so he could run both, they could have, and they're choosing not to. I just think that's stupid, kind of. So, we'll see. It's just interesting. It's all on Fox, so, I felt like they would want to make their schedules work. But looking forward to seeing that. I'm going to take Kyle Larson starting 6th in the Indy 500. I'm pumped. I'm an Indy 500 fan starting. Wednesday. That's my number one. So y'all are gonna have to watch this other stuff and tell me about it. So, just kidding. I'm still gonna watch all this late model crap because I can't get enough. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. All right, picks. I went 0 for 3. Tyler Reddick, no. Brandon Shepard. Brandon Shepard was that close.
Loser.
That close. Okay. Trucks, Tyler Ankrum, I think he wrecked, so I screwed that one up. Blaney, yeah, absolute terrible pick. I don't know why you'd ever pick Blaney. He sucks. He sucks real bad. Trucks, Corey Heim probably would have won, but he just chokes his balls off every single week. God, I don't even know what it was this week. A speeding penalty, pit road.
Yeah, it was.
Something. Who knows? He was up there. I heard he choked it. I was at that thing, but heard the end of the race. But, yeah, then you did, unfortunately, get Falls correct with the 49 there. So, good pick there for JP. D-Watt, since you're not on here every week, we're going to give you the first pick.
Yep.
You can get 1 or 3. You know, if you got 3, go for it. If you want to do 1, go for it. It's up to you.
All right, I'll go ahead and do the Cup. You can put me on the spot pretty quick here. Let's see here. I'll go with the Cup for the All-Star race. I'll go with, I'll go with somebody different. I'll go with Alex Bowman.
Oh,
wow.
Absolutely not.
But he's in the Open, I guess. Is he in the Open or is he in it?
No, he's in the race.
Okay, he's in the race.
Yeah, he was in the playoffs last year, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Didn't he? I think he won a race last year. Didn't he win Chicago or something?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He won the. Yeah, I'll go with
That's
Alex
a good
Bowman.
pick. He's been solid. Obviously I'm a smart ass. He's been pretty solid. So
Yeah, we'll see how he does. But
put you on the spot. I'm pretty sure he's in it. I'll keep checking.
I feel
Keep
like
going. Is that all you're gonna pick?
Go
Or you
ahead.
gonna pick some more?
For now. Go ahead. I'll come back to me.
Okay, JP.
I will also make a pick for the All-Star race. And I'm going to take C. Bell to win the All-Star
C-Bell.
race.
You think he's possibly gonna not choke one away?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right. Is that you need 2 more?
Yeah. And then for the truck race, I'd
be looking.
give me Stewie. Give me 52.
Stuart Friesen. Are you writing these down for you? No.
No.
That's
No,
all
it's
right.
not.
I got you. 52, and you said, who'd you say for Cup? Bowman? No, Daniel
No,
said
I
Bowman.
said Bell.
Yeah, you're an idiot. All right. And then you need one more.
Screw it. I'll go Hunt the Front at Smoky Mountain, and I'll take Hunt the Front himself.
Okay.
Number 10.
On the front at Smoky Mountain. Man, that's tough. I guess I made mine. I don't know if those are really my picks. I guess I'm going to stick with it. 48 is not in the Open. There are 18 cars in the Open this year. I would just like to point that out. That's not very many. 20 in the All-Star race, 18 in the Open. I'm assuming that the Open's going to get stage winners and the race winners, so you're going to take 3 out of 18, so only 15 are going to miss the cut. I do see the Knoxville driver here, Chad Fincham, is listed as entry there for the Open, so see how that goes.
Did you see the interesting entry in the All-Star race, though, that doesn't even drive in the Cup Series this year?
No.
Harrison Burton is eligible.
Oh, wow. Rick Warewood. Tommy Baldwin did that.
I
Smart
saw
aleck.
that from old Bob tweeting it today and was
Yeah.
like, oh my God. He doesn't even run Cup anymore. It's
Guess we're gonna have
ridiculous.
to- I did not see that. If I would have seen that, we would have had a long talk about that. That's bullshit, and they need to fix the rules. That doesn't need to happen. Shoot. I'm going to stick with my 3 Larson picks. What the crap? I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner for the Open, too, just for fun. I'm going to take Cody Ware's driving the 15 this week. Do you see that?
Yeah, because
So we put Harrison Burton in the
Burton,
quality
yeah.
stuff. That's an interesting decision, in my opinion, but that's whatever. I'm going to take 23 to win the Open. I think that's
not a
that's
bad pick.
pretty
It's
easy
not a
one.
bad
That's
pick.
assuming that he's not going to get in by winning like the first stage. But also, just this is side. This doesn't even count. But put Ty Dillon in the All-Star race, baby. He's Ty Dillon, sneaky good, man. Sneaky good. Ty Dillon's not. I don't know what he's doing because I talk a lot of shit, but he's done good. So, other than that, it's 8:30, fellers. This is supposed to be over 25 minutes ago. I'm gonna have to go back and edit it. I apologize.
I got 2 more.
Yeah,
Give me Ben Rhodes for the truck race,
absolutely. Not.
Oh Lord, what a terrible pick.
and then give me
What's
for
he
Hunt the
driving
Front.
now? 99.
Yeah,
think so.
I think so. 99. And then for
Okay.
I'll do Hunt the Front. I'll do the Smoky Mountain Speedway Hunt the Front. I'll go with Corey Hitchcock.
You would.
Go with a little layup, maybe. Hopefully.
Just because I want to, I'm taking 23 at Smoky Mountain.
And then the Open.
I mean 20, not 23. Sorry.
And then I'll go with Ty Gibbs to get in the Open.
I hope not.
Ty
I feel
Gibbs?
like he'll be running up front.
Is he in the Open?
Oh, is he
Surely not. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
What a
he-
loser.
yeah,
He's gonna wreck 100%. I hate
He'll
Ty
probably
Gibbs.
start up front, and he'll probably.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're doing the Open. Is it 2 stages? Two get in?
It's
and the
probably
fan vote?
3 stages, like normally is. I mean,
Okay.
I'm guessing it's gonna be stage 1, stage 2, and the
Two.
winner gets in. I'm guessing. Fan vote. Phew. How can you have a fan vote out of 18?
I don't
That's
know
so weak, man.
I don't know who's gonna be
Yeah.
the fan vote. person.
Yeah. I mean, I do. Bubba. I mean, it'd be
Oh,
close.
wow.
There's nobody. I mean, Ty Gibbs would be another good one.
Is
Here-
Hocevar in the Open? If Hocevar's
yeah.
in the Open, he will win the fan vote.
Hocevar's going to win a stage for sure and get in. Gregson might win the fan vote.
Oh, my God.
No, Hocevar will win the fan
I would
vote.
say fan vote Gregson would have a good chance. Ty Gibbs would have a good chance. Hocevar could win it, but I'm telling you right now, Hocevar is going to race into the race. Like, he's going to be the fastest car in the Open. Like, I mean, seriously. Like, if you go through the list, like, it's not even close. Like, the rest of these cars are garbage, honestly. So, I would say Hocevar and McDowell both probably race in, more than likely. They're the only 2 Spire cars in there. So, anyways, wrap it up. Y'all got anything to say on the way out of here?
No, not really.
You going to watch some races this week, or you just going to be lazy?
No, I'm sure I'll watch some.
D. Watt said you better watch out or you're getting fired.
Did you see that the Cars Tour race is going to be on TV?
There is a Cars Tour race on, is it Friday night?
Yeah, I think
On
so.
FS1 Flow Sports simulcast.
Oh.
I don't know who's announcing that. I'm curious.
Junior and Harvick.
Junior
pretty
and
sure.
Harvick. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably watch it. I'm going to watch it on Flow just because I hate Fox that much. It's not about the coverage. It's just like I feel like they just don't care about NASCAR. So I'm going to watch it on Flow. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. I guess we'll watch that too. Damn. Tell you what, Rodney Childers. So you know that this is side of the fact. I don't know if y'all caught this, but Landon Lewis, that dude that won in Kevin Harvick's late model, the last Car Store race. Like, I guess Rodney's now working for KHI on late model stocks. So I got bad news for everybody else.
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
that's gonna be tough to beat old Rodney if he's turning the wrenches on a late model stock. So
Yeah.
best of luck to y'all. Other than that, Hamma. Just kidding, we're not there yet. Y'all be sure to watch some racing this week. Lots of dirt. Maybe some All-Star. I don't know. Is $1 million enough for the All-Star race? That's what I want y'all to think about on the way out. Is it enough?
I think it's time to up it a little bit.
I think it should be $10 million.
Inflation,
10
right?
million.
Yeah,
$10 million.
It's
That's
been
what I
$1
think.
billion for years. It's time to
Yeah, I
step it up.
think $10 million. And you want to know some real BS that I really think they should do? I know that if Pops makes it this far, he's not going to like this one. Automatic Final Four bid to the
Oh,
winner.
my God.
Automatic
You're
God.
dumb. Dumbass.
Bid to the winner. And with that, we leave y'all hammer down. Oh, that's going to be another beer. Thank y'all for listening to the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. Our theme music is Hard as Steel by Alex Productions. Thank you all for listening. Hammering down. Find a good race to watch. We'll see you next time.